A perfect civilization, advanced beyond its time, swallowed whole by the sea in a single, catastrophic night. For over 2,000 years, the story of Atlantis has captivated philosophers, explorers, and treasure hunters alike. But was it ever real, or is it simply the greatest myth ever told? Today, we separate legend from evidence. This is the story of Atlantis. A like helps the channel grow. Your subscription helps keep history from being forgotten. The origin of the story, the tale of Atlantis, comes entirely from the ancient Greek philosopher Plato, writing around 360 BC. Plato introduced Atlantis in two dialogues, known as the Timaeus and the Critias. He claimed the story was passed down from Egyptian priests to the Greek statesman Solon. According to Plato, Solon brought the tale back to Greece nearly 2 centuries before Plato wrote it down. No other historical source before Plato mentions Atlantis at all. This has led many scholars to believe Plato invented the story purely as a philosophical device. Plato often used allegories and fictional tales to illustrate moral and political lessons. In his account, Atlantis represented a powerful civilization that grew corrupt and was destroyed by the gods. The story served as a warning about hubris, greed, and the fragility of even the mightiest societies. Whether history or invention, Plato's account remains the single original source for everything we know about Atlantis. Plato's description of Atlantis. Plato described Atlantis as an island larger than Libya and Asia Minor combined. It was located, he claimed, beyond the Pillars of Hercules, modern-day Strait of Gibraltar. The city featured concentric rings of water and land, engineered with incredible precision. At its center stood a hill with a temple dedicated to Poseidon, god of the sea. Atlantis was said to be ruled by descendants of Poseidon himself, who fell in love with a mortal woman. The civilization possessed advanced canals, bridges, and harbors bustling with international trade. Its people mined a mysterious metal called orichalcum, said to gleam like fire. Atlantis grew into a dominant naval power, eventually attempting to conquer Athens and the Mediterranean. According to Plato, the gods punished Atlantis' arrogance with earthquakes and floods. In a single day and night, the entire island sank beneath the ocean, disappearing forever. Was Plato describing a real place? Some historians argue Plato may have blended memories of real ancient disasters into his story. One popular theory points to the Minoan civilization on the island of Crete and Santorini. Around 1600 BC, a massive volcanic eruption devastated the island of Santorini, also called Thera. This eruption triggered tsunamis that likely crippled Minoan coastal cities almost instantly. The sophisticated Minoan civilization did indeed collapse shortly afterward, for reasons still debated today. Archaeologists have uncovered an incredibly advanced Minoan city preserved under volcanic ash at Akrotiri. This city featured multi-story buildings, indoor plumbing, and vibrant frescoes rivaling later civilizations. Some scholars believe Egyptian priests may have passed down distorted memories of this disaster to the Greeks. Over centuries of retelling, the story's location and timeline may have shifted dramatically. If true, Atlantis wouldn't be a myth so much as a legend rooted in real historical catastrophe. Other proposed real-world locations, beyond Santorini, dozens of locations worldwide have been proposed as the real Atlantis. Some researchers point to the Rikat structure in Mauritania, a massive circular rock formation visible from space. Its ring-like shape has drawn comparisons to Plato's description of concentric canals. Others suggest the Azores Islands in the Atlantic Ocean, aligning more literally with Plato's location. Some theories place Atlantis in the Caribbean, near the mysterious Bimini Road rock formations. Still others argue for locations in Spain, particularly near the ancient city of Tartessos. A few researchers even propose Antarctica, suggesting pole shifts buried an ancient civilization in ice. Most mainstream archaeologists dismiss many of these theories due to lack of supporting evidence. Each proposed site tends to match only a few details from Plato's account, not the full story. The sheer variety of locations suggests people are fitting evidence to the myth rather than the reverse. Why the myth endures. Atlantis represents a powerful, universal fantasy, a lost golden age of human achievement. The idea of a highly advanced civilization destroyed overnight is both thrilling and cautionary. Renaissance scholars revived interest in Atlantis as Europeans began exploring and mapping the wider world. Some early explorers even speculated that the Americas themselves might be remnants of Atlantis. In the 19th century, author Ignatius Donnelly popularized Atlantis as a real, advanced lost civilization. His best-selling book connected Atlantis to nearly every ancient culture, mythology, and technological advance. The rise of spiritualism and pseudo-history in the 1800s further fueled Atlantis speculation. 20th century pop culture, from novels to films, cemented Atlantis as a symbol of lost utopia. Psychic Edgar Cayce made further unverified claims about Atlantis's advanced technology and eventual rediscovery. Each generation reshapes Atlantis into whatever mystery or fantasy captures the public imagination. The scientific perspective. Mainstream archaeologists and historians overwhelmingly consider Atlantis a philosophical fable, not a historical record. No physical, textual, or archaeological evidence has ever confirmed the existence of Atlantis. Ancient Greek writers after Plato, including Aristotle, doubted the story's factual basis. Geological surveys of the Atlantic Ocean floor show no evidence of a sunken continent-sized landmass. Modern plate tectonics make the sudden disappearance of a massive island geologically implausible. Advanced sonar and satellite mapping have thoroughly explored the ocean floor without finding Atlantis's ruins. Some so-called underwater discoveries have later been explained as natural rock formations or modern debris. Scientists emphasize that extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, which Atlantis still lacks entirely. Despite this, the scientific consensus hasn't stopped ongoing expeditions and documentaries searching for proof. For now, Atlantis remains firmly in the realm of legend rather than verified history. Lessons hidden within the myth. Regardless of its historical truth, Atlantis carries meaningful lessons about civilization itself. Plato's Atlantis grew corrupt and greedy, ultimately provoking its own destruction. The story warns against unchecked ambition, especially when a powerful society tries to dominate others. It reflects ancient anxieties about how quickly greatness can collapse into disaster. Many historians see parallels between Atlantis and real civilizations that collapse from within, not just conquest. The myth also speaks to humanity's fascination with hidden knowledge and forgotten wisdom. It reminds us that even the mightiest empires are vulnerable to nature's overwhelming power. Atlantis endures partly because every era finds new relevance in its cautionary message. Some see modern echoes of the myth in concerns about climate change and rising sea levels. Whether real or symbolic, Atlantis continues to shape how we think about progress and downfall. Myth or reality? The final verdict. Most historians agree Plato invented Atlantis as a philosophical illustration, not a literal historical account. However, real disasters like the Thera eruption likely inspired elements of the legend. No confirmed archaeological site anywhere matches Plato's complete description of Atlantis. The romantic appeal of a lost, advanced civilization keeps the search alive despite the lack of evidence. Modern expeditions continue exploring ocean floors, driven more by hope than solid scientific leads. Popular culture ensures Atlantis remains one of history's most enduring, beloved legends. The mystery itself may be more valuable than any definitive answer could ever be. Atlantis blurs the line between mythology, history, and humanity's imagination like few other stories. Perhaps Atlantis was never meant to be found, only to be pondered and retold. In the end, Atlantis endures not because it was real, but because we desperately want it to be. Real or imagined, Atlantis has captured our imagination for over 2 millennia, a warning wrapped inside a wonder. Maybe one day, new evidence will surface. Or maybe Atlantis will forever remain exactly where Plato left it, at the bottom of the ocean and the edge of legend. If you enjoyed diving into this mystery, subscribe for more lost histories, and let us know in the comments which legend we should uncover next.